Alright folks, what's going on? I've got a good one for you today. Alright, so before I get into it, you know the spiel. Thanks to all my subs, members. If you're neither a sub or a member and just watch the channel, appreciate it. Alright, let's get into it. So, and by the way, I hope you're having a great 4th of July weekend. Anybody gonna go watch any fireworks? Speaking of fireworks, we can get into that in another video. Alright. I was listening to Don Wells talking on, I believe, another channel, or it may be the news. It may be a news interview that he done. Anyway, he said that there was a supervisor. Now, it's probably a supervisor and a CPS worker, you know, the worker's supervisor. You know, he said they paid him a visit on the 14th, the day before Summer went missing, right? Well, I got to thinking about that, and y'all can chime in the comments and help me out with this, but why would a supervisor be needed on that visit? You know what I mean? Couldn't a regular CPS worker, caseworker, go up there and do what was needed to be done on June 14th? Why was there a supervisor needed? Dawn says it was a supervisor. So that makes me think, guys, that, matter of fact, I do know, it was a lot more serious than Dawn's letting on. A lot more serious. Okay. It wasn't over BB guns. That wasn't the main concern, was it, Dawn? You see, I know it was serious. Not only because a supervisor had to go up there, but allegedly it had more to do with the kids being beat by their parents, being hit. Allegedly. And we all know that, you know, from YouTube itself, just on YouTube alone, wouldn't you have hated to be them kids at that house on those nights that Don and Candace were on YouTube, acting the way they were, drinking the way they were? And allegedly hitting each other the way they were. I think they hit each other a few times on YouTube. There was a couple things said during a couple live streams that make you think that they were hitting each other too. But back to what I was saying, wouldn't you have hated to be in them three boys, or even Summer, if she was still there, in that environment, right? I mean, there's a couple times on some YouTube lives where I was sitting there watching Don and Candace act like complete idiots, and I'm sitting there thinking, you know, everybody's talking about, oh my God, they're talking about Don and Candace and the way they're acting, but I'm sitting back here thinking, no, if those poor kids were still in that house, you know what I mean? That's where I'm coming from. And there's no telling how many years those kids had to witness and be part of that alleged abuse up here at 110 Ben Hill Road. Right? I mean, we got to see a sample of it without the kids being there. Wonder how bad it was when the kids were there, right? So what I believe CPS done an investigation, and this is after summer got gone, guys. I believe CPS done an investigation, and based off that, or have to throw this in there, or events near the time the boys were removed from the home is the reason why they were taken. You know, I've asked people, and I was like, does a judge have to sign off on anything for kids to be removed from a home if like something bad's going on? And I get told, now y'all can chime in if you know this too. So if you've got any experience in CPS, chime in. By all means, definitely chime in. Believe me, I try to read as many comments. I may not reply to all of them, but believe me, I read probably 90% of my comments. I'm so busy, got a family, got other stuff going on. I'm real busy. Waiting for the Apple car to come out. But yeah, I don't think it takes a judge to remove kids from a home. People are telling me, Dawn, if a CPS worker shows up at a home for a visit, and you know they're in there doing meth, or you know it's the CPS worker can tell the kids are like in immediate danger, they can take them kids like that out of the house without a judge's signature, a judge's approval, anything. That's what I'm told. You guys let me know anything different. But I was told CPS shows up, and or during the course of an investigation, if they find out the kids are in immediate danger, they can take them kids like that. So y'all let me know about that. So that's why I'm saying, you know, the boys were removed probably in the course of an investigation and when they found out stuff, or you know, maybe an event near the time that the boys were taken is why they were removed. You know, we heard that, you know, Don Wells said he you know, started drinking heavy because this and that, and that could have been one of the reasons why the kids were removed, you know, because he was drinking real heavy. I don't think, I mean, that could be a little bit of it, but I wonder if there's more of, because we all know about the domestic violence in that household. I wonder if it's got more to do with a combination maybe of drinking and domestic violence, you know, is why those boys were removed from that home. And kids just don't get taken out of the home, like I said, for you know, just lack of food in the refrigerator, cluttered home. We all know Candace's home was cluttered, but probably a little bit more than cluttered. But and here's another thing, guys. Here's another thing I want to talk about with CPS. This is like a CPS, another CPS video here in Summer Wells case. Don Wells said himself, and see, I can't fathom this. I've thought about this and thought about this. I couldn't never say this, guys. And you know, I wonder how bad it was for him to say this. But he said, I don't know, again, I don't know if it was on a news interview or a live stream. If anybody watches all this, let me know if you heard it. But he said he was actually relieved that the boys were taken. Now, who says that? I'm actually relieved my kids were taken by CPS. now he feels differently about it. But back, he said at one point, I was actually relieved that CPS took him at that point. Who says that? I'm relieved that CPS took my kids from me, their parent. So the boys were under the care of Don Wells and Candace Bly, their parents. They were removed from Don Wells and Candace Bly from CPS. And Don Wells says on a live stream or interview or something like that, I was actually kind of relieved that they were taken. Something to that effect. Did y'all ever hear that? I think somebody played a clip of it the other day. I don't know if it was Jonathan Lee Riches or something like, or one of them. But he actually said that. Now, what parent says, hey, I'm glad CPS took my kids? I'm telling you. I mean, really? Are you admitting that the environment they were in was that bad? Oh, I know how bad it was. I've heard. I mean, I'm on the verge of wondering if Summer was beat to death. You know what I mean, guys? Because the drugs and the drinking and the domestic violence. Well, hell, the domestic violence was still an issue after the kids were gone. We seen that on YouTube. We seen it. We witnessed it for ourselves. And again, imagine if the kids were still in that environment, guys. I mean, what the hell? So, yeah, chime in, guys, and let me know, if a judge does need to sign off on kids being removed, or can CPS just remove the kids based off, them being in immediate danger? Can CPS just do it on their own? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. And therein lies a big problem. I would love to really factually know why those boys were taken out of the house. I don't want no, round the wagon wheel story with Don Wells and BB guns and, yeah. Allegedly, I heard they were being hit. And we all know about the domestic violence issue in the house. So guys, let me know. Drop some comments. Hope you enjoyed this one. And we'll get into talking more of some fireworks in another video down the road. So thanks for hanging with me. I'll see you on the next video. Bam!